Anyway, here we are again, crouched over, staring at the ground in the bush. Here's a species in the myrtle family. This is a species in the genus Calothamnus. Notable about this, it's just got these photosynthetic shoots. It doesn't have any leaves, but even weirder, it appears to be flowering directly out of its stem. Another plant in the myrtle family. Again, you can see it's got stamens united into 5 bands if you can get up close. 5 bands circumscribing the that central disc right there, and then of course out of each one of those bands comes anywhere from between 6 to 9 filaments with the anthers up top, the little purple anthers. Calothamnus lateralis. Just a really weird alien looking plant. And then of course there's the fruits. See, once those flowers are done, they just turn into little woody capsules that just stay on a stem right there. So axial flowers. I don't even know if you would call it axial. It's more just directly on a stem. And of course, look at all that new growth. The bright green new growth. Another fire-adapted plant in the myrtle family. Hey, look at these dainty little pink fuckers. This is the genus Tomasia. This is a pretty diverse genus here in Western Australia. I think you got like 6 or 7 species at least. Malvaceae again. Look at all the trichomes. Look at all the hairs and trichomes. I wonder if they're stellate hairs on those leaves and stems. And some of these get, this is just the little fucker. Some of these get up to like, 7 feet tall. There's bushes. Look at paniculata or any of those. Again, Tomasia is that genus. Hey, okay, a brief return to the Fabid dungeon, the pea dungeon, the bush pea dungeon, Merbelioid tribe in the Fabaceae, the greater pea family. Here's some of those seed capsules, those fruits. They don't look like the legumes you get in the northern hemisphere. Look, they're just little capsules, with not that many seeds inside. And of course, they just dehisce upon maturity, dropping the seeds down into the litter and what the shit, where they'll remain until a fire comes through or the seed gets the scarification it needs to germinate. Again, dense clusters of flowers. Yeah, let's take a look at the stipules. See those little filamentous stipules, those hairs and shit? God, they're fucking... They're so weird down here. They're so weird. Anyway, there you go, bush peas. One of the, 9 dozen different species that's probably in this region, this tiny region where we are, the immediate local region. There are so many of them, and apparently they're very understudied. And the entire forest is just this low-growing eucalypt. Doesn't seem to get much taller than about 25 feet, but it's got the real nice smooth bark. This is probably a Eucalyptus ligulata because it's got strap-shaped petioles, like a strap. You ever been slapped around with a strap before? It smells pretty. All right, back to the pea dungeon. I'm really punishing you guys, huh? So this is an interesting one. The banner and the wings are both completely yellow. That is, there's no pattern on them. The only part that's got a different color right here is the keel, which is enclosed by those wings. Of course, you can see the keels are red. And then important to note too is that instead of the inflorescence being terminal, in that gastrolobium down there, the flowers all just, you get a whirl of flowers, and then just beneath that, when it's done flowering, just beneath that, another shoot opens up and it just branches off to the side. And this one, it just continues to grow out of the center of, the shoot just continues to grow out after those flowers come out. So they end up being more like axial flowers. And the stipules aren't as pronounced on these either. It doesn't have those wonderful, sexy stipules of gastrolobium, those filamentous stipules. Yeah, it's got a little bit of them, but they're not as pronounced. Anyway, all right, you done with the Australian pea dungeon yet? The bush pea dungeon? Not me. It's pretty interesting. I gotta figure these out, because they're blowing my mind, and it's very confusing. So, holy shit, very confusing. Another thing about the bush peas too is, I guess the merbelioids do not produce isoflavones. Remember, isoflavones were those compounds in soy that everyone was worried were gonna, make young men grow tits and what the shit. You know? Because they mimic estrogen? Well, I guess the myrtleoids don't have those. Check out this Banksia. This one just finished flowering. Those are all the old florets, the pollen presenters and styles and what the shit. Remember, they help as an incendiary device to make sure that the cone goes up in flame. And then here's an old cone after the florets have fallen off. Actually, just take a look at that. Doesn't that look kind of like something from your worst nightmares, you know? Just a bunch of little mouths, you know? Talking to you, telling about your past failures, your failed relationships, your anxieties, childhood stresses, fears, how you don't add up. I'm sorry, am I just projecting? Anyway, lovely form and function here. Again, these have already dispersed the seeds. And there's the foliage. There's the little waxy foliage. Look at those, that white cuticle wax on the abaxial surface right there. That's nice, huh? And once you get a nice shot at the eucalyptus lignotuber. It's the lignotuber. Yeah, that's what you call it, a lignotuber. You like it? I want you to say that to yourself while you're naked in the shower, bathing. Just say lignotuber a bunch of times, huh? I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. Oh, look at that. It's a nice view. More of that, it's actually 2 billion year old metasedimentary rock, not 1 billion. Ah, so here's another species of the gastrolobium, formerly in the genus Nemsia. This particular species, at least. Different from the one, the other one I was showing you where the banner was flipped up. This one just stays closed like that the entire time. The leaves are also more elliptical and less, they're not as wide as the other species. So again, less of that banner showing. In fact, none of the banners showing. And the leaves are a lot different. Probably only speciated relatively recently, I would assume, because they look so much alike. And then, of course, hey, you got to pull that keel down. Pull that keel down right there. Oh, yeah, there you go. See all those free stamens. Again, free, not fused, as in much of the rest of the pea family. Many of the myrtleoids, I think all of them have free stamens. You know, whereas the rest of the pea family, those 10 stamens are fused into a group of 9 and a group of 1. And again, the fuzzy calyx. You get the fuzzy calyx. Anyway, Gastrolobium rubrum. Hey, this one's a real stunner. Stays closed. Probably pollinated by birds, I'd assume. Yeah, here we go. Hakea brownii. It's either brownii or baxteri. They both look quite alike. The fan leaf Hakea. Kind of hard to tell before those flowers open up. See, there's the flowers. Exile flowers. Tepals aren't open yet. You can see there's the last year's follicle. There's an old follicle. Yeah, we're just waiting for a fire. And again, quite a prickly and stiff and leathery. Except, but you know what? This new foliage is kind of soft and nice. Oh, that's so nice. It's so nice for a Hakea. Maybe he doesn't want me fondling him. There we go, Banksia salandri. Again, an old inflorescence. Got those florets still on there. It's a nice one. There's one waiting for a fire. Here's a much older inflorescence. See, so that's what it'll mature into once it's once all those ovules are done being fertilized. You got a new growth on that too. So soft and fuzzy. Just cuddle it at night. You know, while you're cuddle it at night to warm you and keep you safe from your fears and anxieties. Nice, goddamn, look at that. Look at that abaxial surface. Look at all those goddamn veins. And that white cuticular wax. Is it a cuticular wax? Huh? You ever get a cuticular wax? You know? Get a cuticular wax instead of shaving next time, you know? So the genus Hakea Serena is dioecious, meaning plants are either male or female. And this is a male. Look at all those, look at, these are basically just Hakea Serena dongs you're looking at, you know? This is basically pornography right here. This is smut. I'm a smut peddler. I'm a smut peddler and you're a pervert. Do you see any fruits on this? I don't see any fruits. That's because it's a male, because you see the dongs right there. If this was a female, you wouldn't have the dongs. These little, let's get up close and take a look at those. You wouldn't see these, look at all those fucking anthers. Again, releasing pollen. Maybe not now, but, so you wouldn't see these if this was a female. Of course, you'd see those fruits, which look like little mini pine cones. And this whole plant looks like a pine, even though it's technically related to oaks. It's in the oak order Fagales. How about that? When a euc is pygmy, you can really get up and check out the flowers. It really affords you an opportunity here. You know, people hate on eucalyptus a lot, at least in California. And that's because they're way out of context there and they can take over and they didn't evolve there. But seeing them in their native ecology, the ecosystems and the other species that they've been sympatric with, that is, that they share a geographical range with, and that they've done so with for millions of years, puts them in a different context. And you know what? I really fucking appreciate it now. There's 800 species of these bastards, at least. So you can see the flower. Typical Myrtaceous guy, huh? Same family as tea tree oil and crepe myrtles. Dozens of stamens surrounding a central disc, again with that style and stigma poking out. You know, and all the flowers aggregated together in one cute little inflorescence right there. And then there's the fruits, of course. Woody capsules. And of course stay closed until the fire comes through and then they open. Oh, look at that nice termite mound. That's pretty big, huh? Holy shit. You've seen some of these that are like 4 feet tall. Actually, it might be ants. Anyway, look at this guy. So Ericaceae is the family, the blueberry family, and it's the Epacridioideae subfamily. Remember, Epacridioideae are the Australian heaths, and they used to be their own family until they got nested within the much larger blueberry family, Ericaceae. And this is Andersonia echinocephala. You can see, so it almost looks like a conifer. It's super spiky foliage, nice deterrent to being eaten or gnawed on by a kangaroo. Get up there, look at those flowers. Just coming up in the axils of the foliage right there. And just in case the pollinators needed any further attractant, any more of a little beacon to get them there, you can see that the little leaflets, the bracts there, they turn to white where the flowers are. You know, same kind of general thing that euphorbia does, though it's completely unrelated. And I probably shouldn't even be bringing it up because it's going to throw you off. But, you know, a lot of plants will do that. They'll modify their leaves, the leaves that are closer to the flowers, the leaves and the bracts that directly subtend the flowers. They'll modify them to make them more brightly colored and more of an attractant to those pollinators. Big old woody bastard. Nice woody stem. There's some more coming up over there. Yeah, so here's another species of Darwinia. You know, it's not the best spot to see it, being in a shady bush. Let's see if I can show you some of the flower morphology there. Remember, this is in the myrtle family, Myrtaceae. Okay, so right there at that focus, you can see all the stamens. And it looks like they got multiple anthers on the end of them. You can't really tell. Then you go in there a little bit, and you could see all the multiple flowers. Each one of those flowers in the center right there. Hey, look at this Banksia, just flowering right along the stem. Look at it. Oh, it's so fuzzy. The foliage is not, though. The foliage is quite abrasive, like most Proteas. Oh, that new shit's fuzzy, though. Oh, it's so fuzzy. It's so fuzzy. Holy shit. It's a new, that's a modification on a form I haven't seen yet in the Proteaceae, the proteoid dungeon. So here's a nice opportunity to show you how this parasite, this twining vine parasite related to avocados and bay trees, is in the laurel family, Lauraceae. It's in the genus Casitha. Here's an opportunity to show you how it goes about its business of stealing juice from other plants. By juice, I mean carbohydrates, sugars, nutrients, etc. You can see right there in the center of the frame is the emerging haustoria. Haustoria are just what they actually go into the epidermal tissue of the host plant. And then there you could see where it's actually, the plant is actually, it's even created, it's caused the stem on this Hakea, which is the host that it's parasitizing, Protea. It's causing the stem to swell. Pretty interesting. How about that, huh? This plant is everywhere here. And again, it looks like dodder, which I don't believe they even get down here. I don't believe dodder is native. Dodder, of course, is a Cuscuta in the genus. And it's a big parasite. You'll see it in California. You know, you'll see it on plants on the coast of California. It looks like silly string. It looks like orange silly string. And it has no relation to this. It's just convergent evolution. They both, you know, these are just parasitic vines. Look at it. So 2 billion year old oceanic sediments. They've been metamorphosed a little bit. That is, they've been cooked. And right there, that pink flowering bush, it's a member of the citrus family Rutaceae. There's that Boronia again. And I believe this is Boronia pulchella. And there was actually just a moth that was a new species of moth. New species, a new genus of moth discovered here that pollinates this thing. There's so much shit to be discovered here still. It's kind of incredible. It's such an understudied area. You know, just looking at the plants here, I mean, holy shit. There's so much, so much left to be discovered and identified and named. Hopefully not after a person, because it's kind of whack, you know? It's fucking corny and it's whack. Anyway, here we go. No, excuse me, here's Boronia pulchella. Look at that pinnate leaf structure. Ah, it smells nice, does. Those pellucid oil glands. All the resins. Like most of the citrus family tends to have. Just touching the foliage smells real nice. Oh, look at that. Phylites. Like a lower grade schist. That's why they got that nice silvery complexion to them. Oh, rub it. It's so smooth. Can you rub it? Oh, never mind. You're not. Fuck me. I am having too much fun fuck with you guys. All right, there we go. Looks kind of steep, huh? 2 billion years old. What do you think was going on in the oceans 2 billion years ago? Whole lot of nothing. All that iron had just oxidized, you know, giving us the banded iron formations and whatnot. Just a lot of cyanobacteria. Not even any vertebrate life yet. Holy shit. It's pretty old. You gotta travel far to get rocks like this. I think you got some maybe in the Mojave Desert, not quite this old. You got some up in Canada that are quite old, and then Australia just has a ton of them. You know that Melaleucid on there. There you got a species of Elea, Gardneri, just growing right out the cliff. And look at this bastard over here. It's a big cockroach. Of course, I'm not an entomologist, so I should probably shut my mouth. I don't know what he is, but he's quite large. Just kind of, oh, look at this little filamentous antenna. Maybe I woke him up, being loud. Yeah, there he goes. Oh, look at your legs. Aren't you cute? Oh, shit. Now, are you trying to do some background mimicking with this this oxidation in this rock? What's going on? Oh no, maybe that's just the lichen. Okay, you trying to get away from me? Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, all right. I see you later. There's that species of Kunzia. Another one of the myrtles. There's so many of them. Look how the flowers before they open up look like a little pineapple. Somewhat intricate little leaflets. You can see where the river is. See how much bigger the trees get down there? Yeah, well, that's all I got. Alright, this one's just too weird to pass up. I gotta show you. It looks like one of the goddamn sulfur buckwheats we get in western North America. This is Glycrocarion aureum. And it's in the family... Just saying the name of the family cracks me up. Haloragaceae. Oh, Haloragaceae? Okay. God. That's one of the Borea. Borea and Haloragaceae and... Borea and Haloragaceae. Borea and Haloragaceae got together at a bar, had a couple of drinks, you know, and just they had a long conversation about how much they resented their own names. Oh God, I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, look at these flowers. Quite notable. Look at those rather erect stamens right there. It's a very weird structure. And then what are these? Are these the female flowers with no... Those ones without the yellow anthers on them? Oh no, those are just old. It looks like they're just old. Where's the stigma on there? This is a completely new one for me. I'm learning with you right now. We're learning together. Does that make you feel warm inside? Holy shit, what a weird plant. God, it's incredible though. Ah, the evolution of life on Earth. I'm in love with it. All the different forms they take. Look at these little caw-line leaves. And then you got these little, look like a pipe cleaner leaf, you know? Much more dense. And I guess most of the species in this family are, and except for Haloragaceae, most of the species are somewhat herbaceous perennials, meaning they just keep their little root year round. Anyway, there you go. No fucking around for me. There you go. Glycrocarion aureum. Oh, now there's a stunner, another Proteaceae, the smoke bush, Conospermum. Look at this guy. Look at the colors on it. Fuzzy tepals. This is pretty wild. This is one of the most beautiful plants I've seen all day today. Got needle-like foliage. Just looks like some sort of little dainty spruce bush or something, you know, without flowers. And then once it gets the flowers, boom. Oh, look, it's an entire woodland composed of Hakea cucullata. Looking like candelabras. No leaves on the first 10 feet of a stem, and then you just get a little cluster of them up top. Another entirely fire-dependent Protea. Hakea trifurcata as well. This Alocaserina. Look at this. Fruits from a couple years ago. Yeah, it looks like 4 or 5 years ago. Just waiting for a fire. You know, but even without the flowers are red when they bloom, but even without the flowers, this is a gorgeous plant. It's just real weird looking, too. It looks like a goddamn alien. Looks like it's some sort of weird... Yeah, I don't know. Never stop being blown away by how weird the flora looks down here. And just when you thought that the Proteaceae could not blow your mind anymore, here's another genus in that family. This is Lambertia. And the flowers are real striking. Not only the flowers, but the whole form of the goddamn plant. Look at it. It's essentially, well, I guess it's just a shrub here. Almost a small tree. But it's just, I mean, again, it's doing the same thing that Hakea was, you know. No leaves on the first 3/4 of the plant. And then you just, right at the end there, you just get these little kind of non-distinct, almost myrtle-like leaves. And then there's the fruits. And there's the flowers. Just wild. With those yellow pollen presenters just showing off, doing their thing. God damn. Where the hell is where is the rest of the plant? Where's the rest of the plant over there? Oh yeah, there it is. Jesus, oh, look at the little stylidiums on the ground over there. There you go, there's a much larger Lambertia. It's about, I don't know, 19, 20 feet tall. I don't see any fruit on it, so it must just dehiss when it's done. Oh yeah, look at a Synaphia too, another proteoid. Holly-leaved Proteaceae. Synaphia is a weird one. There's that undescribed one. There's a species I was seeing that hasn't even been named yet. So much undiscovered botany down here, you know, just understudied. The one I was seeing just had these, oh look, it's dimorphic. The one I was seeing before just had these spatulate leaves. Again, Proteaceae, it's a Synaphia. Very prickly, hard foliage. Oh, and I can't leave this guy out either, Stirlingia. Another Proteaceae. God, there's so many. There's so many. And they're hard, I guess they're kind of hard to grow. You can't fertilize them at all. They need shit soil, because that's what they're adapted to. What a fucking great plant family, huh? Shit, I'm not making it very far. I think I'm making it like, you know, botanist pace, 2 miles an hour, if that. But you gotta check out this this other Proteaceae. Look at this. I think it's a Petrophily. Okay, so you get the new foliage, super soft, you know. You could you know, soft enough to wipe your ass with, though I would never dare do such a thing with such a beautiful plant. And then the older foliage, of course, is hard and spiny. You know, you lay on that, that'll send you yelping. And you got the these are the old florets here. So this thing's already done flowering. And then you get these little pine cone looking fruits. See, these are the tepals and the old florets coming off right there. I just look at the color on that new foliage, though. Remember, it's got all those pigments in it, those red pigments acting like plant melanin to protect this soft, supple new foliage from the harsh ultraviolet light. And then, of course, once they harden off, they turn green and get relatively spiny and unpleasant to touch. And more of those old florets. God damn, the Proteas, man. You know, only place I ever seen them before was in botanic gardens, because we don't get any up north. By up north, I mean up north and on the other side of the world. But they're fucking incredible. Just growing right out of this barren, crappy soil, you know. Proteaceae, Myrtaceae. And then who doesn't love this uke? Look at this uke. I believe it's Pleurocarpa. With the winged, look at the waxy winged stems. Holy shit. Oh, it smells so nice. You know, again, but again, it reminds me of the potpourri that my stepmom used to use, and I was in trouble all the time. She was real mean to me back then, you know. So it's kind of, it's a trigger for me. It's triggering. I got the PTSD. Got to go see the shrink. You know, so I had the PTSD, but then I'd treat it by doing things like, you know, going to bed late at night with a spoken word CD of Jello Biafra's voice on repeat, and I think that's how I ended up so fucked up, and I'm here talking to you about this stuff now. Actually, I'm just out here talking to myself in the middle of... Anyway, look at this one. Look at this Banksia in the Proteas to blow your mind. I believe this is Banksia gardneri. It's one of those prostrate ones again. What is this one over here? Now, this is a different one. Looks like a fern almost. Jesus. Look at the different colors of the foliage. Isn't that nice? Isn't that going to calm you down? Yeah, here's that Banksia again. Oh, look at it. Look, he's got the little inflorescences forming down there. It almost looks like a cycad. Are you getting amped on Proteas yet? Huh? You think they're worth taking a look at? They're wild, man. They're you know, some otherworldly shit. What's this, another Hakea? So soft and supple. Very friendly and calming nerves, energy, recovery, support. Oh, anyway, look at it. Get closer up there. Look at the geometry on it. You know? This is just beautiful form. Endless forms, most beautiful and what the shit. And who knows what the shit, which one this is. Another Banksia. Another beautiful Banksia. God, I can't get enough, you know? Then you got Banksia illustrifolia or sessilis up here. Remember, they can look a lot alike, both those two. Proteaceous roots, pollen presenters. Look, just looks like little pine cones sticking out of the ground. Nice Xanthorias coming up. Oh, there's a big Xanthoria. And one of the 9,000 kinds of Acacia, Fabaceae. Different kinds of, how many different species of Proteaceae can you see? There's a Hakea. It looks like there's another Hakea. There's a Synaphia. God damn, I just... I want someone to write a book on Proteaceae and then smack me in the head with it about 40 times. And so I guess they released some numbats in the area, which are, I think, the most closely related relative of the extinct Tasmanian tiger. Either way, they're a very endangered and rare marsupial, again, threatened by feral cats and foxes. Anyway, take a look at this really weird Stylidium. This tiny little guy. You know, I've seen so many Stylidiums, I've kind of become aesthetically immune to them. But this is a very odd variation on one. You could see the corolla pattern. Both the corolla pattern and the fact that those petals, you got two petals that are shorter than the other ones. And whatever, the interesting thing here, there's another one right over there. The interesting thing here is that this appears to be rooting itself back into the ground. If you could see right there. So this plant, what it did is it germinated there, it looks like, and then it's re-rooting itself. Again, there's got to be over 200 or 300 different species of Stylidium just in Western Australia alone. And surely many undescribed ones. This is really, you can see, look at those red roots. He's just rooting himself back into the sand. And I can't tell. I was going to say he looks like an annual, but he doesn't actually look like an annual. It looks like he's got a woody taproot like he's perennial. These are so goddamn weird. It's the very strange and a very genus. God. Anyway, there you go. Got a little bit of a crooked trigger. So 5 petals, one's been modified into a trigger. This one extremely odd in that it's got 2 of those petals are much smaller than the others. Who knows why that is? And then of course he's just rerooting himself. Anyway, how about that? Oh, back in the Proteaceae dungeon, look, it's another species of Lambertia. Ooh, it's kind of glandular. It's kind of sticky. Look at the woodland here. Not thick forest, just this kind of low-growing mallee. Yet they're sticky. Well, it's a Proteaceae. It may not be a Lambertia. It certainly looks like a Lambertia. You hearing these birds? Oh, it's more that Calyptrix. Myrtaceae. One of the most beautiful Myrtaceae. One of the most beautiful myrtle family members, in my opinion. Got another Boronia over there. That's Synaphia again. Proteaceae. And then here we go in a realm of angiosperms, that is flowering plants that look kind of like cycads, actually look a lot like cyclads. We have Banksia. Formerly this was known as Dryandra lindleyana. When they changed the genus to Banksia, when they threw Dryandra in a Banksia, they changed it to a species epithet that begins with a D, and I can't remember what it was. Dryandra, something like that, I don't know. You're going to have to look that one up on your own. I'll put it in the notes when I edit this fucking video, which I'm not looking forward to because it's a pain in the ass. Regardless, look at the foliage. Very serrated, leathery, hard. Feels kind of like some sort of torture device strap, you know? Yeah, but some people are into that. And of course, there's those flower heads right in there. This is a stunner. This is a fucking stunner. Don't you love Proteaceae? If you don't, I'm going to go ahead and say you're a prick. I think that's just the way it is. Just incredible adaptation to these nutrient-poor soils, and then just incredible form, too. They're really fucking gorgeous. You know, you got these guys on the ground, then you got this Lambertia up here, you know, kicking me in the dick all over the place. Just incredible. And then, of course, this is what they look like before they... See, so you got these other bracts, too, that open up to aid in attracting. So those tepals and these individual florets haven't opened up, but the bracts have. Another attractant for the pollinators. Probably birds, I'd assume. Maybe some of those, actually, you know what, I don't think the cockatoos that I've heard flying around and making all kinds of noise and what the shit, I don't think they're pollinators, but I think they just kind of eat them. Little mischievous bastards. Look at all those bracts. Almost has like an involucre. I mean, there was a fruit over here somewhere I seen. Anyway, there you go. Another species of Lambertia. Cut it just before sundown. Yeah, I'm going to have a cup of coffee and pass out in the van. Go fuck yourself. Have a lovely evening.